You've talked about this wonderful building and the choir, but what does Christmas bring to this? Could you share your feelings about Christmas and being able to do a Christmas program? All of you, David, Michael.
Well, I think that's what makes this even more special, is the fact that it's not just this amazing event and with the choir and the orchestra and with Mac and Michael. It's the fact that of what we're celebrating and what we get to share with music and with the words and just what we're talking about. I think it's there's no other time of year that people feel this way, because it's so strong. It's such a special thing we're remembering, such a remarkable thing, and people can't deny it. It's there, and so just being able to sing about Christ's birth and celebrating that and remembering it and His life is so great. And I think it's that's just another thing that's very humbling to think about, is that what we're really celebrating, and just to see what an amazing way we can celebrate it it's really cool.
And for me, this in a sense was a sense of continuity, because over the last few years I was asked to narrate the Bible, do the entire narration, Old New Testament. And I lived with that. It was over 550 hours of recording. It's called The Word of Promise, and it's an audio Bible with sound effects, and it turned out very well. And then I was asked to, of all things, to narrate Luke in the new, I suppose, Catholic Bible, which is wonderful, because Luke is such a great he's such a great recorder. I think he was a journalist, and he has a great sense. So to get to do Luke on stage was a sort of dream fulfillment. And also, I've just spent the whole year working on an album of prayers. So one researched them and analyzed them and made a short list. And I'm happy to say that came out last week from Christian Audio. So it's been a whole year spent with these great stories resonating in one's mind. And it just seemed, in a sense, only natural to be here with one of the great Christmas celebrations that the world puts on. And as I said, I feel enormously honored and privileged to be in that position.
For each of our guest artists, could you tell us how you celebrate Christmas at home?
Oh, well, I guess it just depends on the year. We have a lot of family in this year, and a lot of my mom's side of the family, and it's more of a Latin culture, so we definitely party during this time. It's a lot of, just music and a lot of food and just a real celebration, and it's really fun to get to do. And we also do a lot of Christmas caroling and things like that, which I think is really great to do. I think it's wonderful to get to share, and I think just being able to share music with your family and to see just people's faces light up and just see their smiles and how much it means to them. A simple visit and a simple song can mean so much to someone. I think it's really great to do.
I'm in the same position. I'm not in a regular place. Being a movie actor, one's performing all over the world. So I've spent Christmases in Morocco, where you go to the bazaar and you buy an orange, and it becomes a token of, it's a wonderful present, and we sing, and in Russia and wherever, France. But this year we're home, so we shall have the Christmas tree and the trimmings, and we shall have friends. I'm still doing my Christmas cards. And I thought there would be time, but of course there isn't. And so I hope to get them done before Christmas Day arrives.
Is there a point of the program where you each feel connected, especially to, maybe there's a personal meaning to you in the part of the program?
Well, if I may answer first, I don't know if you've seen the program, but it does have a certain Welsh orientation in the story. John Parry, the pioneers who came here and were the foundation of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, which is a great story. I'm half Welsh, so I feel that keenly, that my ancestors should, the courage to cross the ocean, to bring the word, the message, and the discipline, and so on, into this, what must have been an extraordinary place, terrifying place to be, semi-desert and not yet settled. So that touches me enormously, that great sense of faith, where with children dying, going so far, being driven by this inspiration, this message, this divine promise. So I think that is one reason why I wanted to be here, because it is such an extraordinary story, and one so well worth telling.
If I could address what Mr. Christensen started off with, last night's overwhelming response. There were several hundred people that weren't allowed to come in because there were so many people that wanted to get in. Obviously showing up early is essential, but does that kind of response, the fact that there were so many people that there just wasn't room for everyone and there were hundreds of people outside, does that surprise you all? Does that surprise you? Does it touch you in some way that the response has already been so overwhelming?
Not with David Archuleta on the bill.
I think it is surprising. Sometimes you don't feel like, I don't know. It's like, I think the choir always receives an amazing response every year. I mean, even last year they received over 1 million requests. So it's just every year. It's a very special event that people love to come to. There's so much to take in with the choir and the performers and the orchestra. And I was, when I came in, when Sissel performed in 2006, it was one of the best performances I've ever been to. And that's why it's so even more amazing to get to be here, just because, I don't know, but...
I was very moved to learn too that as we were going out live to a lot of other performance centers in the tabernacle, in the theater. That I didn't know, and that is extraordinary.
One of the great elements of this presentation that we do every year is that it is filmed for PBS television, and I think sometimes that those of us here locally, forget that this goes out. Really, it's not only a gift to the community here, but it's also a gift to the nation. And of course, our PBS showing is always a year later, but last year's show, which is being shown right now, which of course featured Natalie Cole, we've had more national airings of that at really prime times this year than we've ever had before, which is, I think, in some ways, we're honored by that. And so while our local audience, of course, we're overwhelmed by the enthusiasm of that, we're grateful that we're able to tape this every year, and that it does go out to so many later on.
We might, we might just think of another thought too. Just to walk in, I walked in Tuesday night, and the stage was set and the lights were unbelievable. But to have this building, that seats 21,000, but to have this stage is just absolutely. There's 3 men back in the back that have worked on this so diligently, but it's out of this world. And then it's free, and like it's mentioned, it go PBS. 95 to 99% of every PBS station in the United States plays this. This is the Christmas concert for not only we here, but for everyone. And it's free. And I heard this morning David McCullough call, and he'd watched, and his heart it's just unbelievable how many different people it touches. And one last thought, having David here at this time, and having all of these young people come in and feel the spirit and the good, it just couldn't be better. There are so many positives. It just doesn't stop. And we want to thank all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We have time for one or two more questions.
Is there a possibility in the future of extending the performances, maybe another day or two?
Well, we have thought about that. It is a challenge. Remembering that everybody on this stage in the orchestra and the choir are all volunteers. And we have explored the possibility, but it just is, it's very difficult.
We could run just about for a month. That's really a bad thought.
David, I had a question specific for our viewers on Fox. I know you're slated to perform on New Year's Eve Bash on Fox. Any thoughts on that leading into the performance? I know you're concentrating right now on this performance, but when your boss asks you to ask something, you can't say no. So what are your thoughts leading up to the New Year's Eve Bash for Fox?
I'm really looking forward to it. It should be fun, celebrating the new year. It'll be different with being away from the family this time, but I'm still hoping to celebrate New Year's Day with family because, like I said before, the holidays are about spending time with family, so I hope that a lot of families will be able to enjoy watching together on Fox. So, you're welcome.
Thank you. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, we thank all of you for being here, and we thank you.
Thank you very much.
The great support.
Indeed.
Here, here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.